All right, welcome back to 2-Minute Tuesdays. I am here with Sean King, our Executive Vice President of Operations at 5210. And today we're going to dig into operations and what we do to make these parks run so smoothly. So, Sean, can you talk a little bit about what you've been working on since you joined the team last fall?
Yeah, great, Randy. I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me. Really Q4 of 2025 and Q1 of 2026 were really about us laying the framework at 5210 for how we want to operate our communities. And so we had a large focus on that. We put a lot of SOPs in place and started to put some guardrails up for our teams. But really the focus is on empowering the community managers to run the business. And to empower them, we have to be able to see what's going on in the business. There has to be visibility. And so one of the things that we did in Q1 was we released a community scorecard. And just think of this as essentially a scorecard that has all of the important KPIs that we manage each day that we're paying attention to. So things like occupancy versus your projection that you're giving for the month, as well as your budget, delinquency, driving that delinquency down earlier in the month, being able to retain those residents and maintain occupancy with what we currently have. And then of course, NOI. There's other things in there that play into that we've included in the scorecard, such as inventory management. We really want to focus on driving down the amount of time it takes for us to bring a home in, set it, and get it ready to occupy.
Awesome. Yeah, so the infill process is a really big piece of how we drive additional profitability to these parks. So standardizing that process is key to make sure that that whole process is running smoothly. When you take a look at some of those best practices in the playbook itself, what are some of the key things that are driving that piece and that function of the NOI growth?
Yeah, for infill in particular, there's a lot of work that has to go in up front to get prepared for the infill that you're looking to achieve in that year, right? So really it starts at the beginning of the year, or rather budget season of the preceding year. We start to look at pro forma, where we need to be for the year, and we determine our infill, our new home orders based on that.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Sean, for walking through that. I think it gives some insight into the day-to-day operations of what it takes to run one of these mobile home parks. And to the audience, thanks for joining us again today, and be sure to join us again for another episode next week.